Commanders Field holds a little more than 80,000, and they have come out in droves here in Landover, Maryland. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, kind of a costly one, as he won't make it back to the 20. To throw on the first play, McCarthy. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Isaiah Simmons getting by the offensive line and dropping the quarterback.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after it.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on air, you think this is something we could see a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because this is a unit that wants to play the game on their terms.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. Had a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. It'll be a gain of about 5, but they're left with a third and still about 12 to go. This defense for the Commanders, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
On third down, they'll throw with McCarthy. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Fielded at the 20. A very good punt, but a 16-yard return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender, and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
They run again on 1st down, Chubb. And they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. They get 17 there. Good for a Commander's 1st down. Absolutely no trouble moving the ball on the ground on the first 2 plays from scrimmage.
Absolutely. You know what I really like? Same guy carrying the ball both plays, and what drives me crazy is when a back has a nice run, he taps his helmet to go out of the game. I would want the ball again and again and again because you've established really nice momentum, and now you're seeing the field really well.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 6. Now Daniels. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 17-yard line. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. They go up the middle with Chubb. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 42 yards rushing for him on their opening drive of the contest, and it's now 1st and goal. You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation we were talking about with one of the GMs in the league that's told me repeatedly, it's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Daniels looking to throw. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
Trap 60.
Ball at the 6, 3rd and goal. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Looking at this situation, if you're at the 1, the 2, maybe you go for it. From here, you kick it.
I agree. I think you have to get points in this situation. 4th down, I don't chance it at all. I put the points on the board and go back and regroup.
Well, they're going to try this. They need 5 full yards to hit the end zone here on 4th and goal, but they're going for it.
We got 3.
Samuel in motion. Daniels going to throw for it. Touchdown! Austin Eckler with career touchdown number 75. And the Commanders' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his 2nd season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. I couldn't take the chance. This will be returned from the goal line. And the decision to bring it out, kind of a costly one, as he won't make it back to the 20. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
They'll go play action. Here's McCarthy. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. And here's Ryan Wright now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And taken right on the 30. Shifts by him. All told, that a 55-yard punt with a net of 40 after the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Now, they were winners in the season opener Sunday. Now they get the quick turnaround game here on Thursday night. But, CD, you say this is an ideal setup for them. Why?
Well, it's just the way the schedule lines up because everyone's got to play a Thursday game, and that's because of competitive balance. So, let's face it, would you rather play week 2 when you're still relatively fresh and excited about the season? Or week 15 when you've had a season's worth of bumps and bruises to factor in, and who knows what your record might be at that time as well?
And he's brought down. First catch here by McLaurin, and he's got himself a first down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. A give running right is Chubb. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. 60 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in his first half. With that run, double check my math, yes, he has hit 8,000 career rushing yards.
And that's fantastic. That means he's now approaching the top 50 all-time rushers in NFL history. That means he just sped past Terrell Davis, who's in the Hall of Fame. And now he's just got to go ahead and be strong and run hard because he's chasing down Larry Zonka.
Now he dumps this off over the middle. Touchdown, Washington. Velus Jones, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Commanders have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Well, this offensive unit, yeah, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that'll make the score 14-0. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. Second down, another shot for Jones. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back. Let's make these babies cry all the way back.
3rd and a yard, McCarthy. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Martin. And the Commanders are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, and right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that third consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
Second down, here's Chubb again. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 93 yards rushing now for Chubb, and a first down as well.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, fifth defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield, hit you little people.
Good run there. 4 receivers now. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Second down and 4. Here's Daniels. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. 25 yards that time.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide. And these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
Running on first down, Eckler. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. Eckler again. And not a whole lot there as they'll get him down at about the 2. Big play coming here. It's third and goal. Eckler is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. CD, that's his second touchdown already. And how about this offense? 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
An absolute total team effort right now. And let's face it, I don't think he's done. We're still in the first half. There's a lot of time left to go. I don't know what they're going to do on the other side trying to slow him down. But right now, he's feeling it.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And now an audible here into something else. Throwing again on 2nd and 10, McCarthy. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Washington on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Here is 3rd and 5. In motion right is Addison. To the air with McCarthy. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Well, it certainly feels like this defensive group has figured this guy out to the tune of a big lead in this one. And you know that he's frustrated with how this game has gone. And now with back-to-back interceptions, he's got to find a way to get out of his own head and start making better plays.
And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there going to take this to about the 10-yard line. 118 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
And again, it's Chubb. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Second and 9. To the air goes Daniels. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Harrison Smith on the safety blitz, able to get the sack.
Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively. Not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. To throw is Daniels. This one swung out here to Jones. And he'll be brought down well short of the first at about the 9-yard line. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on fourth.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a fourth down?
Sly able to put this one through. And the route is on. It's 24-0. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they had the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Here's McCarthy. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Martin. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Daniels now on 1st and 10. Looking left side, and it's complete. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. Sly able to put this one through. And that will do it for this first half. Time for a break. break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. Second half about to start. The Commanders have the lead. They'll get it first as we are back underway. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's a 2nd and 8. Throwing now is Daniels.
Eluding the pressure right. And a throw right sideline is complete. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
Up the middle, it's Chubb. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Here's 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Daniels.
He'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Daniels from the gun on 3rd down.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Sly able to put this one through. But for almost 8 years, 64 stood as the NFL record for the longest field goal. That has since been eclipsed. It's now 66, but still 64-yarder. Pretty impressive, CD.
Absolutely agree with that, because if you drill a 60-yarder in an NFL game, you've got a lot to be proud of, record or no record. And only a handful of guys can even attempt it. Excellent job there, putting that one through the pipes.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
From the shotgun, McCarthy.
Flush to his right. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on second down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for a first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
Now McCarthy.
And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
And you can tell just by looking at him that this offense is a frustrated unit. Things are really unraveling here, and as a head coach, time to earn your paycheck. You've got to find a way to keep it together as that brings up another 4th down.
And here's Ryan Wright now
as he's on to punt for Minnesota.
All told, a 54-yard punt, 13 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Operating from the gun, Daniels. Left side, got Jones. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 10 yards there, good for a Washington 1st down. Well, those backups on the sideline, they got to be eagerly anticipating the 4th quarter upcoming. Look at the size of the lead, how they're moving the football. This defense really struggling and giving up plays like we just saw.
Yeah, Stars have certainly done all they've needed to in this one, haven't they? But my question is, will he be able to resist the urge to continue to run things up a bit and get his main guys a few bonus stats before he calls them off the field?
From the 47 now, they work with a 2nd and 7.
They run it again with Chubb. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Now Chubb running right. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd down and 7.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. That's Samuel, caught left side. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Back now at Commanders Field.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. And they pick up the 1st down there with a gain of 4.
As I take a look at the clock, I realize that this drive has eaten up a good portion of the 4th quarter already. Got to tell you, partner, when you're trying to salt away a game, this is exactly what it's supposed to look like.
A first down throw for Daniels. Going out wide, finds Chubb.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a first down.
Well, partner, nothing but praise from me for this offense. They have been tremendous all night long. They knew what they had to do to unlock the defense. And let's face it, this has been a master class in offensive football that we've been here to witness.
And Chubb will try the middle here. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
On second down, it's Daniels. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Pretty secure lead, but what's the harm in adding another touchdown, right? At least that's what they were thinking on that snap. But if he wants to add more points, got to bring the throw down just a little bit and keep it in the end zone.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Operating from the gun, Daniels. Escaping the pressure right. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown.
Jayden Daniels
with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year.
And the Commanders are on their way to a 2-0 start. Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Throwing on second down, McCarthy. And the Washington pressure gets to him, and he will go down. They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Well, looks like they'll move things around here. On play action, McCarthy.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Let's go ahead and put check marks by it all, partner. No points, down by 4 touchdowns, haven't had anything going today on offense. Why not add a late sack to the mix? Obviously a day to forget for all involved. Let's give plenty of credit to this defensive effort. They've been excellent from start to finish.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Going for it. Here's McCarthy. He lets one go deep for Addison.
And that is incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And boy, that means this next drive is going to start at the 3-yard line. So instead of the incredibly obvious choice of trying to punt it out near midfield, now they've left their defense with no margin for error.
No, zero. And I don't care how much confidence you have in your defense. I don't care if you say, hey, I'm going to be aggressive because those guys can pick me up. You've really put them in an impossible situation because at the least, you're giving up 3 in that situation, right? So I would have punted the ball out of there and given them a little bit of a cushion.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
They'll try again with Chubb. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
We all know how much running backs love getting the ball down near the goal line. They think they're going to find a way into the end zone. He hasn't had that kind of luck so far. Ends up not getting in on the last 2 carries. You know he's going to be upset about a missed opportunity.
Third and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. Handoff comes to Chubb. Only able to pick up a yard, and that's going to leave him with a long 4th and goal. Oh, if this defense can hold him to a field goal here, what a win that would be.
Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. But this started with 1st and goal, so they were in 4-down territory right from the beginning. I say you finish it off and go for the touchdown.
Field goal unit and Joey Sly now. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Now on comes the Washington field goal unit. Sly able to put this one through. So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Looking to throw McCarthy. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. McCarthy operating from the gun.
Open man is the rookie from Auburn.
And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. They had to go for it with such little time remaining.
And Washington will take control of the football in great field position.
A give. This is Chubb. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
Well, up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but, Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They can continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
15 yards the pickup. 1st down, Washington. Well, this one probably not the close game you would expect or hope to see in prime time, CD. But, of course, that wasn't their intent in preparing for this one. They said they felt like their offense was ready to put up some points. And, my goodness, it has been a dominant display in front of a national audience.
Yeah, they thought it, and it certainly came to fruition, didn't it? They've been dominant in so many ways in this one. If you weren't paying attention to this group before, you certainly are now after seeing this type of victory from them.
So a victory here for the Commanders.
And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert.